I'm reading the comments. Everyone's giving up.
Hello and welcome to Paxton Road TV. This is the Paxton Road TV reaction show. I am Sam Spurs for life, and we've just witnessed a woeful performance in the game. Tottenham Hotspur versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. A score: Tottenham Hotspur 0, Wolves 2. And yeah, another game goes by at home, passes us by. Got to do the usual housekeeping before we start the show. Please, if you're watching live, hit that like button for us. Massively helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new as well. Put your comments in. We can already see there's a few comments in there. Even if you're a gooner, put your comments in there, gooners, as well. It doesn't matter. We'll deal with that. As you can see, we're on live. We don't back away from this, but we can't say that was a good performance. It wasn't. It was actually very bad. It was very bad, but it was made worse. Let me start my fucking. I got to fucking get off my chest and shit. We talked about in the show yesterday, the preview show. I just don't know why we think, or why Conte thinks, or whoever it is who's decided in 3-4-3. Let's go down to Conte. It's got to be the manager's decision. Why we think 3-4-3 is going to work against a team like Wolves, who we know is going to pack the midfield. We've seen what it happens. We've seen it time and time again with two players in the middle. I think we've seen this even before Conte's days, going back into, Nuno playing two in the middle, particularly with Winks in there, who's not the most mobile, is not the quickest. Bentancur making his debut. I thought he did okay, but even he can't manage a two-man midfield against a team who's dominant in midfield like how they were. But all that being said, what manager in the world can legislate for mistakes like what we saw today? World Cup winning keeper, Lloris, what he was doing for that first goal, I'm not sure. He could have caught that rebound shot with one hand, didn't need to flap and punch it, gives it straight to Jimenez, and he bangs it in the back of the net. Simple goal. The second one, again, another comedy, is errors straight from the keeper, compounded by somebody else trying to do something in an area of the pitch where all you need to do is clear your lines. The simplest thing in football, the most simple thing, the most basic thing, that you don't even have to coach players. You don't have to coach in the playground, boot it. Because that's literally what he had to do.
Put your foot through, put your laces through the ball.
And all, as you said, although it don't look pretty, it doesn't look pretty. And you're thinking, wow, this guy's being paid over 60 grand, 70 grand a week to boot the ball. I would rather see him boot the ball as far as he can, not to compound the mistakes even more. Because I think all of us could see what the fuck was going to happen once Lloris made that mistake, and we was all over the place. Defensively, so shaky. Gaps between defense and midfield, horrendous. We've not put enough pressure to get players forward. And it's got to be seen now that, Conte makes the decisions too late. The fact that he made the change with Kulusevski within the first half, I think it was within 30-odd minutes, shows that I think he got the team wrong today. I think, Mike, you mentioned we made some changes. We only made 3 changes, but the change that we made, I think we had to probably make them at wing back, because that's the hardest position to play in our team. But surely 3-5-2, if you're going to persist with 3 at the back, 3-5-2, 3-4-1-2, whatever you want to do, just put an extra body in midfield when a team dominates midfield, like how Southampton dominated midfield, like how they dominate. We were lucky against Brighton. Chelsea showed us up for what we were, and now we are where we are. Lads, I've rambled over. Mike, give me your thoughts on that performance, and where we go from here. Where do we go from here?
Well, first of all, as soon as I see this lineup, right? We all moan about Emerson and we all moan about Sanchez being on that right flank. Well, today we go one step better. We put Dorothy, thinking that's an upgrade on Emerson, on the right-hand side of that midfield, and Sanchez patrolling behind him. I'm not going to go. I put a message in the WhatsApp group. I won't repeat it, but it is just basically just saying that we've just been bent over, and it's a case of just take what you want from us. We're going to give you what you want. The 2 goals obviously weren't Doherty's fault, but we're not getting anything on that right flank. I would almost be of the opinion that we would be better off with Session and Reggie on either flank. I know you could argue, well, if you're putting one on the opposite side, he's playing on his weaker foot, but anything has got to be better than Doherty. And I mean, Emerson, I cut him some slack because I still think that he's in this league. He's been thrown in the deep end. Some players, it takes them a good season to get accustomed, but Doherty's. Anyway,
you can't blame him. You can't blame him.
Well, we can, because what does he offer going forward?
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't give us nothing. It's like you're playing with 10 men. We're playing with 10 men with Doherty in that team. We are. And Sanchez is. He's just making the same mistakes. He couldn't control. He couldn't control the ball, no matter how big it is. He's just. He's very much a. He's very much a confidence player, and you could see it today. His confidence is done. Like, what's the point in playing him? You've got Rodon, bring him into the team, put him in the middle, put Romero out on the right, Davis on the left, who I think had a bit of a stink today. But the problem is, Conte's hands are tied because who does he bring in? I mean, he takes Emerson off because he's been pwned. He brings Doherty in. He hasn't been much better. Winks. He's been playing well since he's come in under Conte, but the guy can't play under pressure. Like when he's being pressed, he's just so flat-footed. He can't think of the pass ahead of him. Whereas at least Benny next to him, he can see like the ball's coming, and you can see that he's already thinking of, and he already knows where that next ball's going to be played to before the ball's even come to him. Winks, and you can't even say that. Oh well. Sub Winks and bring Højbjerg on because he's just as bad. He plays too flat foot. He can't cope with the press. The goals they're just comical. You just got to laugh at them. You can't get stressed over it. What's the point?
I don't want to laugh. I don't. But we've had this before.
What can you do? This thing though, like, what's the point in getting stressed about? It's just comical, isn't it? Like literally.
The thing is, though.
Norris is a world-class goalkeeper.
You can't.
He's a very good. He's a very good He's a very good goalkeeper.
I would say he's world class.
He's probably world class, but
he's in that bracket. He's not the best in the world, but he's world class in my opinion. But
he should have caught it. Like you say, he should have caught it. If he's going to punch it, don't punch it out into open play. Punch it out wide or
don't punch it at all. You don't need to punch. This is the point.
They're panicking though. That's the problem. They're panicking because there's no form of confidence in each other. Like you could see Romero occasionally. He's thinking, shit. The only option I've got is to make a pass to Sanchez. What? Do
you know what reminded me of at the back?
Belief.
You know what reminded me of at the back? Now, I don't know if you might remember, Mike or Sam, but I know Sean will remember this. You remember back in the days, Run Around, that TV show?
Yeah, I do. Mike
Reed.
Mike Reed and Leslie Grant.
Yeah,
and all
them.
That is exactly what our defense is, run around, because that's all they do. They just run around and, just that's it. That's all they do because they haven't got.
The thing is, the simple solution here is pack the midfield out. If you want to stay with the back three, which under Conte, it has generally worked, albeit apart from Chelsea. And I mean, you could argue the past 3 games it hasn't worked, but generally it has worked in the main. It isn't going to work with the players that we've got if you're just going to put 4 in the midfield and then put 3 up. He's got to pack that midfield out. Give us a fighting chance. Pack the midfield out and go 3-5-2 or 3-4-1-2, whatever it is. But an extra body, like you say, Sean, is a necessity because we're just so wide open. Like it just invites trouble, and when you get invited and when you're inviting trouble, should I say, it leads to silly mistakes, it leads to goals, and then before you know it, you're 2-0 down after 18 minutes, and you're chasing the game. And we all know how compact Wolves make it when they go up a goal or 2. They're not going to. The chances you're going to get are minimal. And it showed today. I mean, they made it difficult. Fair play to them. They did what they needed to do, get the win across the line. But Conte's got to change it. It has to.
Wolves have scored 21 goals in 22 games, less than a goal a game. They come to ours, they look like they could have scored 4, 5, or 6 goals. To me, that's got to be the problem. We're too easy to play against. We're too mentally weak. And once we go down in the game, it's very difficult. I know the Leicester thing aside, put that to the side as a freak because that was a freak show. That won't happen again for a very long time. look at the basis of our performances when we go a goal down. We don't do well. It's you can look at all the numbers, all the facts, we don't do. And now at home, when we should expect an upturn in performance, when you go a goal down, the crowd, right, okay, we're going to go down, we're at home. They don't score many goals, but they don't concede a lot either. So it's going to be a tough afternoon, but they don't score many goals. So if they score first, it's going to be an even tougher afternoon. So what do Spurs do? We gift them the game within 20 minutes. 2-0 down, it's done. It's done against Wolves because we're not good enough to come back.
It's done against any Premier League team.
Precisely. But at home, it shouldn't be a case of no effort. Sean, talk to me about, before I come to you, because as I said, I know you would have gone to that game today, but you've done well not to, mate. You've done well. Sean, what did you think of the performance overall?
It was a bit like my stream today, very, very disjointed. I think they were taunting me on my stream. They kept rewinding to the 5th minute, and I keep seeing Jimenez scoring goal after goal after goal. It was dreadful. It was a shit show, and I'm not, sorry, adult language, but that's the way I feel, and this has brought it on. And they've brought it on because there was very little positivity out of that today, and you expect a bounce back. You expect a bounce back after Wednesday, and there wasn't a bounce back. We conceded, as you said, the game was over after 20 minutes, and we made Connor Cody look all right, prime.
We made him look world class.
He looked like Maldini in his prime today. Maldini going back to them AC Milan days.
But the thing is, sometimes we need good, honest defenders. I remember when Moyes bought the guy from Brighton. From Watford, Dawson. He just did a fucking sensible job. He just got the ball out of the fucking box. We're all purring about Romero, but to be honest, he
hasn't got trust in either.
He hasn't got leadership qualities. He tries to lead by performance, but he doesn't. He's not in their ear. He's not an organizer. There was a 30-second spot late in the second half where you saw Cody, who'd just been knocked on the head, just absolutely go around his defender saying, come on, come on, come on. And they were 2-0 up and in control. Where was that today? Where was that today? It was a fucking disgrace. And those poor souls that went and got soaked again in that stadium and paid good money for that they're the only people with any credit today for Tottenham Hotspur.
Sean, you're in black. Well done for dressing in black. I tried to be positive. I had a nice bright background. I tried to go positive.
Could I be in any other colour?
I tried to put on my white top so I can stay bright.
No more top 4 talk. No more talk of Europa League. Don't even go to the Conference League. There are so many clubs better than us.
Sean's lost it.
We are lucky to be mid-table.
He's gone. Everybody. I feel like him as well. I feel like going to job. I'm going to stay. I'm
Sean, what's in the bottle?
The only Corona worth having.
I'm staying focused. Sid, let me just come to this comment first before I come to you, Sid. Guna Gums has made a good point. 3-4-1-2, you could get murdered in wide areas. Well, that depends on how you play the game. What you should have if you've got 3 at the back is you should have your right or left-sided centre-back to be able to go out to help out. Plus as well, if you play it well, if you have enough in the midfield, one of your midfielders could come out and then the one drops in to make an extra midfielder. That's how you play. If you play 3-4, go on, sorry.
The 3-4 doesn't matter if you play 3-5 or the 3-4.
Doesn't matter.
You shouldn't get over or killed on the flanks.
You shouldn't, because it's all about shifting over. If you shift over, one of the players drops in. If the player in the 10 is the middle player, if the wide player on the right-hand side of the midfield goes, he drops into the make an extra midfield. So you've always got a balance of 3. You should always have players be able to shift over to defend. So what Gums is saying, I understand, but this is where coaching comes in. And I'm not blowing my trumpet about being a top quality coach, but I know coaching. I've got enough coaching experience and levels of ability to know exactly what you can do. Whether it works out with the players on the pitch is a different matter, but you've got to try something. the fact that Sessegnon, who I felt so sorry for today after 30-odd minutes, is trudging down. What have I done, boss? Because that's what he looked like on his face. What have I done, boss? What about Ben Davies? He fucked up on the goal. What about Sanchez? He's shit. That's what I'd be saying if I was Sessegnon. What the fuck have I done, boss? You ain't played me for fucking 3 games, and now you play me and take me off after 35 minutes. But them not a shit.
Come on, boss. That, you got Dorothy. You got Dorothy on the opposite flank. Just stood there, just existing. Like,
let's get Sid's points of view first. We've had all our say, and I'm probably rambling too much. Let's Sid have his say as well, and I'll introduce Mr. K as well. He's in the background. Fuck's sake. Go on, Sid.
You know, the only reason why I came in is because Sean started swearing, and I thought, you know what? I need to come in and like calm people down a little bit, soothe them down a bit. It's not all doom and gloom. We've seen this before. Remember Mora? Remember Zagreb? Remember West Ham? We've seen worse.
We've seen worse, but we had Nuno and we had Jose. We've now got a world-class manager in Antonio Conte. I want to hear none of that shit.
Let me explain. What we saw before Mora, what we saw at Zagreb was when this team gets his pants pulled down and they start to look at each other and start pointing fingers and so forth, then the following consequences, they start to lose games, they start to play badly, they start to, make silly mistakes. And in the last game, I saw this. I saw Winks like bickering with Sanchez and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, Winks, just get out there in the midfield and do your job, mate. And he was missing out. And the thing is that the mentality of the players, it's not a bounce back. It goes further. They start to, dare I say, bottle it. It makes them panic a little bit. And unfortunately, when they start to panic in the back, when they start to panic in the back, you're going to get people in the front who are not going to be on point.
We applied our KY.
Sorry, Sid. I didn't want to. Sid, I know you're going to say something, so I didn't want to jump in the way. But
I want Sid to come and say his bit now. Sid, please just talk to me before everybody rants this bloody stream off, because we are going to rant it off if we're not careful. We are going to do that.
Two things. First thing is I want to apologize to the people who purchased my tickets today. Because
you robbed them. That's a crime.
I robbed them. Yeah, sorry. So if you're watching or listening or
he'll offer
come
a full
back to
refund.
listen to it, yeah, ask Spurs for a full refund. Don't ask me for a full refund.
Don't ask it. Ask Spurs.
Yeah. So you know what it is. God must have been looking over me today to get someone else to get my tickets, because that was disastrous. And secondly, Hugo Lloris yesterday made all over Twitter on his whatever. He put a statement out, didn't he, that fans deserve a lot more, this, that, the other, and it should be, we should be doing it for the fans, blah, blah, blah. I think he needs to now put a tweet out and whatever, everywhere, social media and everything, to apologize, because what he done today cost us the game. The two goals were his fault. So he needs to apologize first and foremost to everyone. And I told you, week in, week out, do not get too excited, because this is Tottenham. When teams now are coming to our stadium and playing us off the pitch, right? It's ludicrous, it's disastrous, and it's shocking. And okay, everyone's blaming Doherty. Today I don't blame Doherty, right? It wasn't his fault. But the one player I will blame, as far as much as Lloris made mistakes, is Sanchez. He is an absolute liability. He hasn't got any confidence. He hasn't got a clue. There was a moment in the second half, in the last 5 or 10 minutes, when the ball was played into the middle. He came and then he took a step to the right, and then he jumped to the left, and then he put his hands on his knees and he decided to let Jimenez, whoever, take the ball. And then it was shocking. His play, I don't know what he watches or whatever, is shocking. And today,
Sid, can I ask you something? This is just get this point in. Because we lack, and Mike made the point, we lack central defenders.
Yeah.
But we still insistent on playing 3 at the back, even though 2 of our centre backs are out. In mathematical terms, why not play 1 less centre back? Because then you can at least have a different combination. The fact that we haven't got many, I don't know what's happened to Rodon, so I'm almost discounting him now. So he's not part of the plans. Because if he was, surely he'd be playing instead of Sanchez and then Romero playing on the right. I said that in the feed. Why can't we play Rodon? I knew it wasn't going to happen because he's not going to disrupt that back 3. But we all know what Sanchez is about. So this continuation of playing him, if a player's not confident, how is he going to get confidence? Because we've seen it for the last year and a half. It's never happened. It's never happened. He's done all right with certain players playing with him, but he's never been the mindset, right, take it on his chest, take it down, like, all right, spray that ball there, calm under pressure, heads the ball, winning all. He does it because he has to. The ball's coming in and he panics his headers. He's doing things off, just reactionary. He's not looking forward to how he can play the games. He's not responsibility. His responsibility is just, I have to just defend it. Romero is now, I have to defend, I have to sweep, I have to play passes, I have to go into midfield. When you're doing that, it's terrible for the rest of the players around you because he's got no options now. But seeing bloody Ben Davies on one side and Sanchez on the other side is terrible. Go to a back two, at least you can have some different options then and play your 4-2-3-1. It makes no sense. That's the manager. I'm sorry. I'm going to give that on the manager.
If you look at the lineup, as soon I'll go back to it. As soon as you see Sanchez and Doherty, you're not going to win the game. Simple as. Tell me otherwise. I honestly, that is my. I honestly believe. Yeah, but as soon as I see that lineup, I see Doherty and I see Sanchez. I knew we weren't going to win today. I had confidence that we could get a result yesterday. I didn't think for 1 minute that we would set up with Doherty and Sanchez on that right-hand side. It's worse than Emerson and
Can I ask you a question, Mike? Can I ask you a question? If instead of Doherty you would have seen Royal, would you have been just as confident?
Do you know what I would have done? I wouldn't have played either. I wouldn't have played Doherty or Emerson. I would have put Session out there or Reguilon.
Yeah, makes sense.
Even though they're weak-footed, I reckon I would have got more of a tune out of those two being on the flanks than Doherty.
Guys, is it time for us to start shouting Conte out now? Levy needs an excuse. Look, listen, Levy's going to need an excuse to sack him rather than Conte walking. So if we start trending the Conte out, then that'll give Levy the ammunition.
There's one positive today. There is one positive today, and that is Bentancur. I thought he had a good game. It took him a little while to adjust, to get to grips. And I reckon Conte must have said something to him at half time because he did get much closer to the opposition when they had the ball. And I thought, I honestly thought he had a decent game. He could hold his head up. The rest.
Listen, I still think, and as much as people it might be controversial, I don't care. We can blame the manager for performances. As I said, you can't blame him for mistakes. I cannot blame him for what Lloris and Ben Davies did. I'm not going to do that. I can't blame him for how Sanchez plays, but I can blame him for putting Sanchez in that position. I can blame him for not seeing and addressing the midfield situation earlier when he brought when he brought Kulichevsky on after 30-something. I can blame the manager because the players don't pick themselves. The manager picks the players. So we've seen 3 league games in a row, certain players playing are susceptible to mistake. We got away with it against Brighton. I get that. But we're constantly playing a player in a position where we haven't got many defenders, but we're playing 3 of them. Please tell me how that makes sense. If we had 6 central defenders play 3, we've only got 4, and one of them's not even allowed to play anymore because we don't know what Rodon's done to Conte. Tanganga's out, Dyer's out. We've got a selection of 3 centre-backs. No matter how you play them, one of them being Ben Davies is left-footed, so he's not going to play anywhere other than the left side or central. You've got Sanchez, who we've already seen cannot play centrally and cannot play on the left. So he can only play on the right. So we have no flexibility. Go to your 4-2-3-1. All of these players, every single one of these players knows 4-2-3-1 inside that. They played it since the Poch.
I said that yesterday. Like, why don't we just change it and make it? You set up 4-2-3-1 and you are setting yourself up to be difficult to break down.
And I can understand Conte. I can understand Conte saying, no, I'm sticking with this. I'm sticking with it because the players have to learn. But the players are not learning.
Seriously though, if we had scored first, right? If we had scored first, we would have been in the game. The reason why we're so fuming is because we've allowed the opposition to score cheap goals.
That's it. It is
every game, though, isn't it?
And before we get a chance to get into the game, they got 2 goals. They just look. They're going to tighten up, and that's exactly what they did in the second half. They were taking it easy.
Yeah,
it was all us attacking, but it was like we're going up against the brick wall. Just in case the viewers are out there just don't seem to understand, I'm not a Conte out person. I trust Conte. I'm a levy out person, just in case you're wondering.
But you know the worst thing about this as well tonight is it looks like they didn't give a shit. None of the players, right? So a few of them. However, the final whistle's gone. They've all forgotten, and I guarantee you now they'll all be at home now getting ready for the Super Bowl party tonight because that's what they'll all be concentrating
Sid, that's
on.
not good enough. I'm sorry, that excuse
enough.
doesn't wash it. Year after year, we've heard the same crap about, some players put it in and other players don't. I don't care anymore. I want quality and I want performance.
I know, but
right? I don't care if they play for the shirt or they don't play for the shirt. I want them to do a job on the damn pitch. And forget about all these people like Winks, for example, like running around and shouting and all the rest of it. I don't care. He's an absolute liability. But I'm not going to blame Winks for today. I'm not even going to blame Sanchez for today. No, I don't. I think you can't blame the players for being crap because that's their level.
No, one thing you can't. Right, okay. You can't blame the players for being shit. If you're not very good, you're not very good. But it doesn't stop you from making effort. The teams at the bottom, Burnley, Leeds, who else? Watford. Look at Newcastle. They've got a couple of new players in. The same players that were bottom of the league for ages have turned it round. Don't just tell me that's about the manager or that's just about them having a lot of money to now spend. It's because they want to stay in the fucking league. They know if they stay in the league, they are going to have lots. Some of them players that stay in the league. Hold on. Some of them players that play for Newcastle now are not going to be playing next season. So why should they make an effort? Why should they make an effort? You know why? Because they're professional. Professional footballers should be paid to make an effort. I don't care if you're not good enough because we know that levels between Messi and someone like what we've got in terms of Dorothy is a big fucking gap. But you can still put in an effort because that's what you do. You're paid to do that. When I go to work, I'm paid to make a fucking effort. If I don't make the effort, I get fucked off. And I'm fucking pissed off today now. I'm pissed off.
Sam. The issue that we've got with other teams compared to our teams is that the level of quality that the other teams have got, like Newcastle, is slightly lower than our players. But the problem is those players know how to perform up to their level. Whereas our boys seem to have a confidence issue where someone needs to stroke them very nicely in order to get them to play up to the level they should be able to play. Look at Winks as an example, right? Yeah. When he started to play up to his level, it's not Messi style level, but when he started to play up to his level, we were sitting back and going, you know what? That's okay with us. That's enough. That's all we want from Winks. And the issue that we've got, when we look at Sonny, for example, when we look at Kane, we know the level they can do. When they don't perform up to it, we get upset and we get downhearted about it. When you look at other teams like Newcastle, the level of their players is way down there, but they play up to it. And that's the issue that we've got with our team. Sure. What's the difference?
Let me make sure. Look at the stats and don't get it twisted by these stats as well, being 59-41, because pretty much, as I said, the game was done after 20 minutes, so Wolves could play counter-attack. So 59% possession to us to 41. I'm not even looking at that as being, we're dominant, because we weren't. 17 shots to 11. Again, we could look at, we were fucking shooting from anywhere at some point. So again, 17 shots on target. This is where you get to see the difference. Quality difference. 7 shots on target for them, 7 shots on target for us. They scored 2 goals. That's the difference in here for me. If we're not going to be able to outplay them, at least we can get the shots to score. They did. Do you know what I mean? They did, taking advantage of mistakes.
It's not effort levels. It isn't effort levels, is it? It's just the fact that the players are just not good enough. They're just not good enough.
Guys, would you have been happy? Would you be happy in this January transfer window if we had got 1 midfield player and 1 defender instead of getting 1 midfield player and 1 attacking?
I was an advocate for all along to get another centre back, because the thing is, right, if you've got another Romero or a player of similar quality, you're not making the stupid mistakes that our back line is making, and you're setting yourself up to be harder to beat. If you're not conceding goals, you've got a chance of winning the game, haven't you? Especially if you've got Son and Kane and whoever else on the pitch. But it's a case of no matter how many goals we concede, we're going to have to score more, and you can't win games like that.
Them 11
shots,
shots
like that either.
Guys, do you think Trippier was too expensive for us to get in January?
Sorry, Misterk. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't want to even talk about players like Trippier anymore. I want to concentrate on what we do with the players that we got, because we can all do this to someone. What if we had him? What if we did this? fuck that. What have the players got to do now to get us to, like I said, at least expect home games to be performed at a level? Again, I'm not talking about winning. I'm talking about levels of performance. Let me just start, Sean. What did you see today that you could hang your hat on? The black hat, which I should have been wearing today with a black tracksuit. What can you hang your hat on to say to these fans who are watching now that we have got something to look forward to for the rest of the season? Because I don't know if Conte is going to look at this and think, what else can I do? I think he's just hoping that he gets Dyer back, he gets Skip back, and they can do something. If they don't, we've got a lot of problems. Sean, what can you see that positive?
I mean, there's a very short answer to that question, Sam, and it's nothing. I mean, there's nothing from that team today that you can hold. I mean, Bentancur was probably our best player, but even then, he was giving the ball away as well. I remember in the second half there was one that they nearly scored from. It's when we can't do the basics well, passing. I really fear for where we're going to drop to.
And the worst thing is for Sean, just before you finish your point, if you look at the table and you look, I know West Ham are winning at the moment. If they are winning, they're going to obviously 3 games more than us with 43 points. So that will be 7 points ahead of us. Mathematically, we're well in this race. Manchester United are going through some stuff at the moment. I said West Ham and Arsenal will give us a chance. We've now brought Wolves into the equation. And they're, look at their stats. 21 goals, 17 conceded. That's not a top 4 team, but they're in the top 4 race. So this top 4 race is open wide for anybody to take advantage of. And we can't do it at home.
We're falling away, Sam, and the fixtures we've got coming up won't make that any easier. I mean, Manchester City next weekend, Liverpool
followed by Burnley, followed by Leeds.
Leeds, Leeds, a team who will press and press and press at their place, and we will fold. We'll fold like a deck chair.
Mr. K,
the positives we've got is you just bring in. We've still got the performances that we're having are without 2 key players, which is Skip and Dyer. If you bring them into the equation, and I'm sure a lot of the problems defensively, I think, will be eradicated. Because Sanchez
I disagree.
Straight away.
No. Excuse me. Did you see that cross? Yeah. You see that clearance that Davis made? It's like in every single game, he makes one mistake, and that mistake leads to a goal. Sorry, Shane, you wanted to ask a question.
Every day.
I saw a little error on my graphic there. It said Southampton, but it wasn't. Doesn't really matter. I'm not that bothered anymore. Throw it Southampton, whether it should have said Southampton, whether it should have said bloody Wolves. I don't care anymore.
Mike, you might be right. I think you might be right. If you replace those 2 players, then the mentality might change in the squad in the center, and that might make those players on the either side, like Davis and I think that might raise their game. But the truth of the matter is that those players could at any stage be a liability to those central players.
Yeah, but the quality, Skip's
the quality's there. Skip's a million times better.
Dyer's he's better than Sanchez. And
Davis.
And that's
anyway, Shane.
Yeah, but
you were asking.
Okay, just the question is being, what is the positive? Because you always have to look at.
You're asking me.
Otherwise, if we just look at negatives,
I got a positive.
And we can look at this all day. Like I said, I feel very negative today about the performance, not just about this game, but because we've done it against Southampton, and then we go back to Chelsea. As I said, take Brighton out of the equation. We got the result, but the 3 games against Chelsea that we played, we lacked belief. We lacked real belief, and I can understand that Chelsea's record's terrible. Against Southampton, we've got one of the best records of any Premiership team against them lot. We look back, all it was W's at home. We then play them, and they looked like they were the home team, and they looked a lot better than us. Okay, as Sean was saying, bounce back. What do we expect to see today? Not necessarily all the players playing, like I said, prime Barcelona, but what I'd expect them to do is, right, I'm going to throw myself into tackles here. I'm going to press as hard as possible. Even if they get past me, we're going to try and be aggressive. Aggression at home should be a given. It's not we're going to play aggressively today. We're not going to play aggressively tomorrow. At home, given our performance levels previously, it's a given. The crowd should be up for this. The crowd should be, I'm behind this team because they're showing me that they care. 20 minutes into the game, it's over. What? Come on now. We can't continue with this at home. I'm not talking about away. Home performances. We're now going to have 3 away games. I can't think of any tougher away games, really.
Have we lost 3 league games on the trot?
Yes. For the first time since 1998 or something.
Yeah. So, there are quite a few. There's quite a few negatives that we've come across today, and primarily an awful lot of these negatives are like PTSD, where we've seen this before.
Yes.
We've seen exactly the same type of capitulation. We've seen exactly the same type of malarkey, and normally it comes like after we've had a crappy game like the Southampton one. The first one, okay, we got beaten by a better team, but then we go up against a lacquer team, and then all of a sudden we get beaten by them, and then we come into this one. It seemed to be that we shot ourselves in the foot. So the question is, how do we get ourselves out of it?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Are Wolves, Southampton, Brighton, Villa, Crystal Palace, Leicester, are they better than us in terms of squad? Would you say that they're better than us in terms of squad? Those teams, I'm not talking about West Ham's and Chelsea's and Arsenal's and Man United's, but those teams just below us now at the moment, are they better than us, would you say? It's not a trick question. I'm only just asking that because I want to know myself, because I don't know. I don't know if we're...
Going on today, I'd say Wolves are. I think Southampton are, given on how well they played against Man United yesterday. And I would probably... We were probably on the par with the other ones that you mentioned, Sam. Okay. I think we are shocked, and we're not going to win the FA Cup. We're not going to win. We're not going to get it. I don't think we're getting into Europe next year. That's how bad it's fallen.
Right. So my next point then after that, then to you, same question, not the same question, but there's a part 2 of that. Who's got the best manager of those teams? And I think it should be a straightforward question. I think. We have.
We've got the best. We have by far got the best manager, but our squad is shocking, quality-wise, passing-wise. When I see those rondos they do on the training videos, and I just think,
I want to see that shit.
Is it making their passing any better? No, it bloody isn't, because they are shocking. Some of the passing today was dreadful. Mora had his rubber knees on today. Every time the ball came to him, it bounced off him and went 5-10 yards away. Thank you, Lucas. Amsterdam was wonderful, but sorry, you can go. You can go. You're just not good enough anymore, I'm afraid. And
the problem is, Sean, there's a list of players. There's a list of players before you even get to Mora.
Yeah.
And the issue
that's the sign of how high up in the list we go. Players who give it their all, but are just not good enough.
No.
And much as I would love to defend Winks, he was dreadful today. Dreadful. He was back to his,
Sean, you love defending Winks. Okay, that's okay.
No, but that's fair dues, because he has played well. But like I said, I think everybody can see in a 2, he doesn't play well. He's played well in a 3. Every time I've seen him play well,
I think the positive. Look, guys, if you're looking for positives, right? Yeah, listen. If you're looking for positives, I think one of the viewers actually put that out. One of the positives is now that we've seen Bentancur actually start. We've seen him play a few games, coming on a sub. We've now starting to get the impression. Hold on a second. That guy is actually going to be handy in our midfield. If he plays alongside someone like Skip, for example, we've got the making of a decent midfield centre pairing, right? Yeah. If you got someone like, for example, look, if you sort the middle out and you sort the defense out, we've got the attacking players already. They just need the whole team to support them and a little bit of luck or the rub of the green, so to speak. But I mean, today there was definitely effort being made by some of the players in the front. They were definitely making an effort to knock on that door. It's a little bit too late when you're already 2-0 down and Wolves are closing things down in front of you. So that's kind of a bit of... And if you're at the front and you're watching a comedy of errors behind you... Whoops, there's a comedy of errors behind
me. There's one there. Right there.
I mean, what does that do for your confidence? And as a striker, as a forward attacking player, everyone talks about attacking players having to have confidence. And no, it's a known fact for strikers to have this confidence, this belief in themselves. But if they're looking back and looking at their team, would that not knock their confidence? I mean, there was a situation where number 11, I don't know who number 11 is for Wolves right here, but he ran circles around Sanchez, then nutmeg Davis, And Romero had to come all the way from the other side, clear the ball, and the look on his face when he looked at Davis and Sanchez said absolutely everything.
This is what I mean.
The players that Romero that have come in, the players like Bentancur that have come in, they know straight away what the issues are. Someone like, for example, Kulusevski, right? Yeah, he's still new, so he's not going to form that type of opinion. But these two players have come in; they're very slowly going to. I mean, Romero's already sussed it that he's surrounded by idiots, right? And Bentancur's going to start to realize, you know what? I can't rely. I mean, look, Bentancur was great today because, Winks wasn't that great to us. It's that simple. It's not the midfield. I don't blame the midfield. I blame the defense, man.
No, you. All right, okay. Because your defense isn't very good, we know that, but we've known this for a while. You have to protect it. You have to protect it. You can't protect it with two players that don't have the mobility. Bentancur has got the mobility, but he's only just coming for his first start. He's only been here a few weeks. He probably don't even speak the language. He can't have got up to speed with everything. Second off, I could see that. So make it easier for the players. Just make it a little bit easier. The manager has to take that decision. Right, I can see that the players are getting overrun. I saw that in Southampton. I saw that against Brighton, but we got away with it. I see that against Chelsea. Actually, I think I've seen this quite a lot of times this season, even before I was here. This is Conte. I'm talking as Conte. I've seen it quite a lot of times. I play this certain football. I get all that, but please, we want to win. We're at a point now where we have to win games.
Romero probably doesn't speak English. He's probably still learning English. You've got Bentancur, who can't speak English. He's probably still learning it. You got Kulu in front of him, who probably can't speak English.
No, Kulu speaks good English.
Oh, does he? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Well, I'm just going on the basis.
Most Scandinavians, they learn English really early.
That's fair enough.
Most Swedes can.
But you've in the two critical positions on that pitch, your centre mid and centre back. If you can't communicate with each other, I'm sure they must be able to somewhere or another. But where you've got Dyer who can speak multiple languages and he can tell Dyer, he can tell Davis if he's being shit, or he can tell Romero if he needs to clear it. He can communicate with them all. But
you know what? I don't need to speak English to tell somebody they're shit. I better tell you that much. If they spoke, they could speak any language in the fucking world. If I'm telling you your shit, you'll fucking know it. At the back, that's all they need to do. Someone needs to get these players in and just do something. Sid, let me get some thoughts.
Do what though?
I don't know. This is the problem. Right? I don't fucking know. I'm so confused now.
Mate, you don't need to be confused about this, because no matter what you do with Sanchez, it ain't gonna happen, mate. It's like he's at his level. He's never going to be world class, and I would be happy to put my mortgage on it that Sanchez will never be world class player. He may get into good form where he's playing well, but at some point he's just going to revert back to being shit. Which we said this last season. Form's temporary, class is permanent, and Sanchez, his decision making, like you saw it today. His first touch, I can't remember who it was. It might have been from a Davis pass. He's let the ball run. He's then gone to take a touch, which is, I think he just beat Neves. But his first touch has gone too far. He's lost the ball, and then we almost concede a third. You can't teach it, mate. Mistakes, you cannot teach a player to stop making mistakes. It's in their makeup. You can't get that out of him. He's always going to continue to make mistakes for Tottenham Hotspur.
Let me ask you, what do you see, Sid? What do you see as a fundamental change that we can improve? Because we have to look for improvements now. We have to, I say we, because we can do this opinions all day. We can talk about this all day. What do the team, what do Conte, what do the management, what do the coaches, what do the players have to do to improve the next game? Because the next game is Manchester City. Let's not get away from that fact. The next game we play is against Manchester City at the Etihad. What do we need to do to at least be in that game, Sid?
Turn up.
Score a goal.
Turn up, number one. Yeah, Mr. K, score a goal. The problem is, right, all the fans think we're getting top 4 or top 5 or top 6. The manager himself has said, this is a mid-table side. Don't expect anything more. I'm doing the best I can with what I've got given. I haven't got any transfers in, and this current team ain't good enough. So he knows deep down that we're not good enough. It's us deluded fans that keep saying we're going to finish top 4 or whatever. All these games in hand that we've got, I've said I'd rather have the points, because games in hand mean absolutely jack shit when you're catching up with people who are 5 points ahead of you, 6 points ahead of you. But going to the Man City game, they've got a Champions League game on Wednesday. He's going to chop and change, right? But that squad is, no matter what he does in terms of chopping and changing, they're going to turn up on Sunday. What we have to do is, number one, pray that Dyer's back.
Pray. I thought you was going to leave it at that. All we got to do is pray.
I ain't going to sing, though. I'm not even singing today. We got to pray that Dyer's back, right? And the problem is, and we're going to have this problem, the players are not, some of them are not good enough, and Conte, unfortunately, has to stick by them because there's nothing more he can do. I don't understand.
There is more he can do. He can stop playing 3-5-2 or 3-4-1-2. Right? Yeah. What he needs to do, what we can do, the simple solution here, right?
Didn't we just say he's the best coach on the planet?
Hold on, Mr. Sid. Mr. K, sorry. Mr. Sid. Sorry, Mr. K. What he could do, and this is straightforward. Change the formation. I know he's not going to do this, right? But if we're conceding stupid goals, and if he thinks we're going to continue to concede stupid goals, change the formation. Change it to a formation that is going to be difficult to break us down, and that would be the 4-2-3-1. But we'll change it to that formation, and that would make us. It will make us difficult to break down.
Mike,
at the very least,
that team is not going to make. No matter who you put in them positions, it's not going to be difficult to break down because we haven't got the mentality. Any team, no matter what formation you're going to play, teams are going to break us down left, right, and centre because we just don't have the players good enough and confident enough to do it.
But you don't. If you're difficult to break down, that's one thing. But if you're all sort of what's the word I'm looking for? If you're all singing off the same hymn sheet and you know your roles. You can be difficult to be broken down. You can be difficult to score against, regardless if you're good or not. If you are set up in a way that is difficult to break you down, if the players are putting in the effort and they know their jobs, we can be difficult. We've seen it before where these same players, or a lot of these players, playing in 4-2-3-1, we got quite a lot of success there. I know we're going against the grain here because Conte is not that 3-5-2 or that 4-2-3-1. He's a 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 formation manager. But if we continue to invite teams on, this is basically what is happening. We're inviting teams on week in, week out to press us, to dominate us, and we cannot cope with that type of press, that type of pressure for 90 minutes. It's just not in our DNA. There's the players that we've got. It's not in their DNA to sort of thrive under the pressure of like an old Chelsea team, whereby you had your Terrys, you had your Ashley Coles, you had your Carvalhos, you had your Essians. They thrived under pressure, and they knew what their roles were, and they knew how to play out of it, and they won games because they could deal with pressure. They just ate it up for dinner, didn't they? And
Mike, if I was the opposition manager, right, and you played a 4-2-3-1 or whatever system you played, I would tell my players, make sure you let them play the ball to Sanchez, and then we just take the piss.
Sanchez wouldn't get in the team for playing 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying, but I still don't think, no matter what formation we play, some of the players that you put in them positions, the teams will come and attack us.
Let me just get Sean's point of view as well, because Sean, again, looking forward. I don't know if that's the phrase I should use. Looking to the game against Manchester City next weekend, I'm not looking forward to it at all, if I'm honest with you, at all. Unless I don't even know what. Unless half their team don't turn up and Jack Grealish plays drunk. That's the only way we're probably going to win against them. If Jack Grealish turns up drunk and you've got Kyle Walker, who's probably has one of his mare games. What can we do, Sean, between now and then to have any sort of hope for next weekend?
Get reinfected by coronavirus. Honestly, I mean, I suppose the template would be the 82 minutes we held out against them in the Carabao Cup in the spring. That's all I got, last spring. I can't see us. But then we had Alderweireld and Dyer, who were just absolutely massive that day.
Let me throw this out there. Sure, let me throw this out there. If we beat them, we've done a double over City this season. Don't forget we beat them already this season. And that was in Nuno.
Yeah, but look at our front line that day. Look at our front line that day.
Guys, I think
pace.
Look, when Nuno started the season, right? He started with a 4-3-3. And when we had the 4-3-3, we looked solid.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. We never looked solid. He changed it to a 4-2-3-1, if you remember. He kept playing.
No. The first 3 games we played 4-3-3, and our defense was being protected by the midfield. Yeah. We were lucky to get those goals.
Hold on.
They were artificial.
Okay. But in those games, take the City result out, because that was a good result. The performances were shocking. Yeah. We got overrun in them games. We weren't very good, but we got the victory.
No, we weren't. But the 4-3-3, at least the 4-3-3 protected our central defense. And that was the main thing, keeping the core tight. We let them have the wide areas, and we had a very tight center that was defended. So we weren't being creative. We weren't being attacking in any way.
But Mr. K,
and that was the problem that we had under him.
We conceded 3 or 4 goals almost every game, and for a period of what, 4, 5
That was after the third game, though. That was after the third game.
That was Nuno playing that 4-3-3 system when he was coming up.
I thought he changed it to 3-4-3 in the end.
He didn't know what he was doing. But to be fair, I can understand why you didn't know what. I don't think they knew some of these players. I don't know if Conte knows what he's doing sometimes with these players, because you can't bank on anything. You can't say to yourself, right, these players are going to do this, or at least I know they're going to do that. Or, because we got rid of 3 players that we thought aren't putting the effort in. We got Tanguy out. We got Dele out. We got Lo Celso out. We even got Gil out. And I think, to be fair, Gil's probably just needs game time. But he wasn't lacking effort, but he needs game time. But he wasn't going to play. But we got rid of at least 3 players that we thought, oh, they're the bad eggs they are. They're the ones that have made us bad attitudes. However, I've not seen any improvement on attitude apart from the Brighton game, where the attitude was right, because the players knew what they had to do. They looked like they were drilled in terms of pressing Brighton, making it difficult. Brighton allowed us to play because they didn't press us as hard as Southampton. So all the other teams have done is said, hold on, look what Southampton did against them. They pressed them. What did Wolves do? They didn't have to do that much today. They just got numbers in there and they scored the goals. So unless we change something fundamentally, how are we going to... I don't know how
Shane, the problem we've got right now, is that because we've had a really crap performance from front to back, in terms of not getting the goals, not even scoring and putting ourselves on the score sheet, we're going to start to doubt some of our really good players. And the thing is, at the end of the day, it's like, I understand we're hurt, and I understand that some of these players didn't really perform up to the level that we want them to. I think it'd be wrong for fans to start turning on our better players. Like, for example,
I'm talking
about the fans in general. Even me, for example. Look, I came on the stream and normally I'd rant and rave.
He's been playing well, Mr. K. He hasn't been playing well. He's not got that deadly, go past.
He's missing something. Ever since he came back from injury, he's definitely, even before he went off to injury, he was missing something. Right, but since he come back from injury, he's still not got it. He had the speed. You see that burst he made on the right wing. Like he was like 5 yards behind next man, and all of a sudden he put the afterburners in. And John, you're absolutely right. I did watch the match. It kept freezing every now and again, but I'm just trying to be a little bit positive compared to people being upset. That's all. I'm trying to balance it out, yin and the yang. Otherwise, I can rant and rave.
I'm not. I'm just being realistic, Mr. K. Like, I'll say this till the cows come home. Sanchez and Dyer Sanchez and Doherty shouldn't be anywhere near the first 11.
But Mike, we have this year in year out where we put our team in a good position, and then, like, you remember the last season, we were like, what, number 1 at Christmas, or like a few weeks before Christmas, we were number 1 in the league or something. We once we get to good performances and good runs, we then start thinking to ourselves, wow, you know what? We could win a cup. We could end up in top 4. We could actually be 2nd or 3rd. And I think to a certain degree that we have to step back a little bit and listen to what Conte has been telling us all this time. Conte hasn't even mentioned where we're going to end up at the end of the season. No. He's never predicted once that we're going to be in the top 4. Only the players, like Mora, only the players have said this. right? Mora came out and said, yeah, we're like, look, we could aim for top 4 here. But realistically, when you look at the performance of our team on an average across the whole season in the last 2-3 years, you got to turn around and say to yourself, coming 6th would be an achievement.
Listen, Mr. K, I agree with that because I've said we're not a top 4 team. However, when you get a top class manager and we have got players who have got some ability with some really good players in our team, and I compare that to the likes of West Ham and I compare that to the likes of Arsenal, not so much Man United because they're a bit of a misnomer in the way they're performing with the players that they've got. But I compare us to Wolves and I compare us to the likes of Brighton, Southampton, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Leicester City, Brentford, Leeds, Everton. I'm not even going to go to the bottom 4. I'm not going to accept that our players cannot perform to an effort level of those teams. Now, again, I can wholeheartedly take being beaten, and football changes very quickly because next week, if we go to the Etihad and we somehow get a victory, that whole ethos and the whole of the demeanor that we've got now is going to change. Like what with Arsenal did, getting the result against Wolves yesterday. It's changed the whole of their mentality. They now think, oh shit, now we're a hot team, having only scored 1 goal in the last 4 games in the month of January. We have to almost take that same sort of principle and hope that we can get a performance from the 3 away games that we've got. I don't hold out much hope unless something changes, and that has to change in the personnel playing in the formation that we're playing. 3-4-3, I don't care who we play in that 3-4-3, is not going to get the results that we seek.
Sam, what's your forecast for those 3 games in number of points?
Oh my God. No. Oh, why do you have to go and do that, Sean? That's not fair. That's not fair. I don't think that's a fair thing.
It's a question you'd put to me, so.
Oh shit! If I'm honest with you, okay. I look at Man City game. Anything we get at Man City is a bonus. I'll take a draw right now. I'll take a draw. That's being hopeful. Leeds again. You can get what you get from Leeds.
They are so poor though.
So they can be so up and down, but we can be as well. So I would say 3 points. Burnley is going to be a tough game. That's going to be a real tough game. And a point from that will be good. But I'm looking to get 3. If we get 6 points from them 3 games, it will be a miracle. I can see us getting 3, maybe 4 points.
Same question to the rest of you. Don't stop hiding, Sid.
Go on then, Mike. At the next 3 games, what's your thing?
Everyone will laugh at this, but it would not surprise me if we get a bloody result against Man City. If we get a win, I wouldn't put it past us, right? Because this is just how Tottenham are. We end up losing.
Just go and see the heroin dealer across the road.
The last 3 games.
If Levy spends
last 3 games we've lost, it wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't shock me. Well, it would shock me, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do get a result against Man City because we are their bogey team. But then we go and lose to bloody who's it after Man City? Leeds or is it Burnley?
Burnley in midweek.
So then I can see us. Do you know what? I'm going to say it. I can see us getting a result against Man City. We'll probably end up losing to Burnley, and then we'll get a result against Leeds.
Right, someone clip that video. Someone clip that part of the video because we're going to come back to it.
Sydney?
He's going for it. Sid, he's going for it. He's sure today. He's not playing about.
You ready? Man City 4, Spurs 0.
4-1.
Right? 4-0 to City. We'll lose 2-1 to Burnley and we'll draw 2-2 with Leeds.
Oh, I hate this thing.
Point.
Yeah.
Point. Yeah. Okay.
That's what
Mr. K then. Let Mr. K say. He's been very positive. Actually, Mr. K, what's going on? What have you had in them cigarettes? Because you're too positive today. Far too positive for my liking.
You know what it was? I was in the chat, right, yeah, and doing my bits there, and then all of a sudden I heard Sean swear, and I thought, hello, what's going on here? And you were like going Krakatoa, and I'm thinking, hold on a second. Normally you're the calm one. You're the collective one. I'm thinking, hold on, you guys, like I've taken a leaf out of my book.
I lost it.
Right. And I thought I better come in here and like do the opposite bit of yin and yang here, right? Yeah, just to give us a bit of balance here. Because it's so easy to go into anger. And then that anger will then lead you into despair. And when you start losing hope as a fan, then really, there's something wrong because we should be supporting our team even when they fall down. Right? That's what fans are meant to do. That's what the 12th man is for. He's there to turn around and rally the boys. The problem the reason why we're angry is because even if we went up them and touched them on their bum, they still wouldn't get up for it. Right? So we're angry because they don't care about the 12th man. And the 12th man cares about them, but they don't care about the 12th man. They're not putting it in. They're not, as Bob Spurs was saying, as Bob Spurs was saying earlier, there's no oomph. They're not putting an oomph into it.
Mr. K, you've done a great sales pitch. What's your results? What are you thinking we're going to get? Sean's asked a question.
I think we're going to beat.
And I had to fucking do it. So you're doing it as well. What are you saying in the next 3 games?
I think Man City is going to be a ding-dong. It's going to be 3-2 to us. It's going to be an absolute ding-dong. I'm not even joking, right? Yeah. Leeds, right? Yeah. We're going to take Leeds apart 3-0, right? We're going to go up against Burnley. We're going to beat them 1-0. Done. That's it. 9 points in the bag. Arsenal, we're coming for you. Arsenal, we're coming for you. From way behind. From way behind.
I want them tabs that you've got. Send me a pack of them tabs. I'm smoking them tonight, mate. I'm smoking them tabs tonight.
I trust in Conte.
Simply Ace says Joe Rodon should be in the back three, and I've not been proved wrong. Sanchez is shit. Oh,
every fan knows this. Every fan knows this.
PEH is shit as well. We are done. Sanchez has to go, but who comes in for him? We're putting it on Sanchez again today.
Do you know?
But it was. Hold on. We are putting it on Sanchez today because he played poorly, but it wasn't his fault for the 2 goals. It wasn't his fault.
Can't we recall Carter Vickers?
All right, I'm going to go round all of them. I'm going to start with you, Mr. K, and then come around to you, Sean, and just your final thoughts on the game today, and what you're looking forward to for the next game.
I think the fans got what they deserve. The performance was absolutely atrocious from front to back. We had so many years. We had so many years to tell this board. We had so many years to tell this club that their transfer policy was absolute trash. Conte comes in and tells the media, by the way, their transfer policy in the last few years have been trash. No one listened to us. Right? Now, all of a sudden, you're seeing with your eyes the consequences of having one of the best managers on the planet, the best stadium on the planet, one of the best training facilities on the planet, one of the best fan bases on the planet, and that these Muppets are on the pitch. They're not there because they chose to come here. They didn't twist nobody's arm. We signed them.
The cigarettes have worn off finally. Well done, Mr. K. You're back.
Levy out, mate. Levy out.
He's back. Well done, mate. I thought I'd lost you. I really thought I'd lost you, but you're back. You're back. Sean, what's your thoughts? Final thoughts.
That was a waste of an afternoon. And it's ruined my weekend. I put it in the comments, but I think we should be playing a totally different team. And we are going to have our asses handed to us for the next 3 games. I can see it.
I don't
think we're going to get a point.
I might have to get myself a black snapback. I might have to get a snapback this week. Sid, talk to me.
Wow, what? You know what? I'm glad.
He's not even breaking out into a tune today.
I'm glad. Leicester have just equalised. I'm glad that the money today stayed in my pocket and not Daniel Levy's, because he didn't deserve my money today. So I'm very thankful for that. I don't know what to expect. Honestly, you just don't know, mate. You're just going to open a box of chocolates up and just pick one, and if you like it, yeah. If you don't, you chuck it away. And that's with Spurs. I don't know what we're going to get. Yeah. And optimistic, yes. Be happy, yeah. And just wait until next Sunday and hide behind the sofas again. Pull them forward and hide behind the sofas, mate. Because as I've always said, get into your roller coaster, strap yourself in, because we're going to be in for the ride.
Mate, we're being hung upside down at the moment.
Do you not remember the conversation when we said we have to? Remember Deji being on the stream and saying, "Buckle up, guys. We're in for a roller coaster ride here." That was under Jose. Buckle up, guys. We're in for a roller coaster ride here. That was under Nuno. Why the hell are we saying buckle up, guys, under Conte? I know we ain't got all the players we want, but surely we've got to have a little bit more hope. Anyway, Mike, your final thoughts, because I'm done. I'm trying my best here. I can't do it anymore. Mike, your thoughts.
Mate, how many streams have we done whereby we've been in this situation where the same culprits are just ruining our weekends? I lose count. And what do I expect? If I see Sanchez and Doherty, mate, I'm not even going to watch the game next week. I promise you now, I'm not going to waste my afternoon watching those two perform for Tottenham Hotspur. I'm just not going to waste my time. I've got family. I'll spend it with them. Enjoy my afternoon. You boys in the group chat, text me, let me know. I'll take 30 seconds to read it, and then I'll just be like, yeah, fine. We're 1-0 down. Oh, we're 2-0 down. Oh, we're 3-0 down. Whatever it might be. I'm just not. I wish I could say something to Conte and actually ask him the question: what is it you see in Davinson Sanchez that the rest of his fan base see differently? Because I'm speechless. The same with Doherty. Why do you keep persisting with him? I know it's a. I keep going back to these same two players, mate. I'm done with talking about them. Like, how are they Premier League footballers? Someone tell me.
I have to laugh.
How is Sanchez an international footballer? How is Doherty an international footballer? No offense, Sean. I know he plays for Ireland stuff, but does he play better for Ireland than he does for Tottenham?
Do you remember when we was like, we had that little renaissance with these players, with a little renaissance with Doherty, the little renaissance with Sanchez.
They're back to numbers.
We was like, okay. I was like, okay, maybe they have got a bit of a future. Maybe he's a squad player. Oh, they perform well. Now it clearly is.
Mate, we fell for that.
We fell for it. I fell for it.
We forgot the saying, form is temporary, class is permanent. We forgot that. And that is such a true saying. Class is permanent and the form is temporary. These players, they shouldn't be at Tottenham Hotspur. Simple as. If we play them next week, we're gonna get knobbed. So it's as simple as that.
So I like that one. We're going to get knobbed. I like that.
Bring our own Vaseline. Yeah.
What else can you say to that?
Sorry for my language, people.
Yeah. Apologies for my earlier utterances.
And I apologize for being positive.
You need to apologise for being positive, Mr. K, because I don't know where that's come from. But you rattled in the end. He come back to his real self in the end. The tabs wore off. Like I said, I apologise for my swearing because I lost the plot halfway through this stream. I don't care. I don't apologise for that.
But you know what it is, Sam? You got a really nice top, though. You get away with it. It's a lovely top you got.
It's a nice top. I thought that's what
it's a very nice top.
It's a bloody nice top.
I like the manicured beard.
And the beard as well. I shaved that as well. I've done it all for you guys. I did it all.
Where did you get the body padding from, though? Did you buy that from?
Anyway, listen, guys. We've got a week. We've got a week till next week. So always look on.
Oh, you done it.
Side of life.
Seriously, guys.
What? Sid, you need to bring out some songs this week, mate. Listen, I'm going to do a couple of.
I'm telling you now, guys, the only bright side to life for Tottenham Hotspur fans is if next week, exactly that, if Conte realises, and I hope he's watching this, because if he is, we're going to save him some stress, because get Rodon in and switch.
Wait. If Conte, if you're watching this, could you please like and subscribe and share?
Bring in Lavinia.
Just for you, Mike.
Bring in Lavinia.
Yeah, this one is dedicated to Sanchez and Doherty. Okay, now go. Walk out the door. Don't turn around now. You're not wanted anymore.
How many more players can we kick out the door? We have none left. And we keep kicking these players out.
I don't want to hear
that's the Conte's then.
I don't want to hear that anymore. We're reverting back to numbers. That's the numbers for the rest of the season. That's
listen. Let me tell these viewers, thank you very much for staying for us and staying throughout this therapy session that we always have to do. Again, apologies for any language that was offensive to anybody out there, but this is what we do as fans. We're passionate. We don't like when our team loses. We don't like when our team underperforms. And like I said, we have to go with the ups and downs. But we have seen this fucking show a lot of fucking times, and I'm swearing again. So I'm apologizing because it isn't even bloody 6 o'clock yet. Zen moment.
We are gonna get
survive.
Those two.
As long as I've got Conte, I know I will survive. Anyway,
we need more than Conte, mate. We need an absolute prayer.
we
need the cognac to go with the
we
Conte.
can have a living on a prayer then, can't we? But I won't sing that.
Well, we're gonna have something. Guys, listen. We've done it. We've been here. We've turned up. Thank you guys for turning up. Thank you guys for sticking with us watching. So make sure you hit that like button. I think there was something like only 20 odd likes in there. We've had 140 odd people up to one point in this stream.
Yeah.
So please hit that like button and subscribe to Paxton Road. We try our best. We try our best. Look, I've tried my best. I didn't come in a black snapback. I came in a white shirt, white background, and everything. It's gonna change. It's gonna change if this team don't sort this out. I can tell you that.
We're going next week. We're in morning, mate. I'm telling you.
I'm not having this no more. I'm done. Right. Okay. Let me go and go. Sorry. Do you want to say?
Yeah. Ask Sid is coming back this week. So if anyone's got any issues, any burning questions, anything, ask Sid is coming back.
Your
It's going to be a 15-hour stream, Sid.
You should not have said that, mate.
Yes, you're going to come and join me.
You're going to be peppered like Lloris's goal the last 3 games, mate.
Not a problem, mate.
I'm going to be making up YouTube aliases and sending them into you. I don't care.
Not a problem.
I'm sending everything because I've had enough of this shit. Anyway, that's enough. Now it's time to go. I'm losing it. If I've not lost it already. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much, Sid. Thank you very much, Beaker, the Muppet, and Mr. K at Talk to K. Thank you very much, guys. It's time to go home. Or not even go home. Just go downstairs and have a bloody drink or two. That's what I'm going to do now.
Wrong one.
Thank you.
Because my tea's gone cold. I'm wondering why.
Right then. I'm off
guys.
now. Yes, Mr. K.
No, just going to say, come on, you Spurs. I really want us to do something. I really want us to bounce back. I want the team to prove to us right here that they're worth supporting. And now the challenge has been set. They can't get any worse than this right now.
Challenge. Say that again. Mr. K.
No. Wait.
Hold on a minute. You were going to end off that. I know, but you've gone and done it now. You've gone and done it now.
We've gone from where we are to being relegated at this time of the season.
God, you've done it now. Right, we have to go. We have to go, guys. Thank you all for watching. Delirium. Delirium is coming through.
I've got to face Judge Jody on bloody Tuesday.
Oh, jeez. Good luck with that. Good luck with that one. Thank you, guys. Thank you again, Mike, Sid, Sean, and Mr. K. This is it. Nah, definitely going now. Come on, you Spurs.